I'm in Shenandoah National Park, and this is the Little Stony Man trailhead. Just a little pull off the Skyline Drive. Yep, there it is. My little red car. And right there's Little Stony Man trailhead. I'm gonna get on that and go up here, up on this ridge, until I find the Appalachian Trail, and then we're gonna hike south on the AT up to Stony Man Mountain. I was up here earlier this year in the summertime, and I saw what I thought might be an old abandoned road that led to a copper mine up here. So I'm going to go up here and see if I can find this old trace of a road again, and then follow that to the copper mine, hopefully, if I can find it. The elevation here is 3225. Well, okay, right there's the parking lot down there. You don't have to come up very far before you hit the Appalachian Trail. So we're going to turn left and head this way along the AT. It looks like there's a little bit of a view over here, so I'll get some stills before I take off. That's part of a survey monument along the trail here. There isn't much left of it, though. There's one of those armored cables, pipe I should call it. I've seen these in various trails around here, including one that was cut in half, and on the inside it's hollow on the inside. So I think maybe these were water pipes, armored water pipes is my guess. So who knows, they could have been feeding water up to this copper mine that I'm going to go look for today. Four-tenths of a mile into my hike, climbing the mountain. I'm up to 3420. And there's a split here in the trail. If you continue straight, that's the Passamaquoddy Trail, and the sign says viewpoint ahead, 180 yards. If I have time, I'll go over there on my way back down and get some shots. But see the double white blaze there? That means that the AT heads off this way and continues on up the mountain. So this is where we're going. Still climbing the mountain. 7/10 of a mile into my hike. I'm up to 3550, and I'm up to Little Stony Man, and I stepped back a ways from the edge because of the wind. I'll step forward here in a minute, try and get a little better pictures. But this is Little Stony Man, And up there's Big Stony Man, and that's where I'm headed. Actually, I think I'm headed more over here where the summit is. So, looking for this mysterious copper mine thing. But anyway, this is a pretty nice observation point here. So this is 7/10 of a mile from the parking lot on a steady climb. And I'll get some shots here. Let me step out here a little closer to the abyss. Oh God. Please don't blow me off this mountain. The wind's calm right now. Well, fairly calm. That's looking to the west. And down there, Skyline Drive. .3 miles into my hike. I'm up to 3,810 feet now, and I stepped off the AT. The AT's right over there, and I know this doesn't look like it, but I'm looking at it sideways just below. I think this might be the trace of the old road. When I get up on it, it might be a little more obvious. So I'm going to get up on this road and bushwhack on a compass bearing about, let me look at my GPS, about 2/10 of a mile in that direction, see if I can find any evidence of the old mine. Because if there was a mine up here, there had to be a way to get the ore down off this mountain, and I'm thinking that this might be the road. This road is shown on the 1929 map. I'll show you when I do the map talk. So they kind of, when it gets over here close to the AT, it's been kind of erased. They probably bulldozed it. So, and put some big honking rocks up there so people wouldn't go up there. So let's go up there and see what we can find. Okay, well, I'm up on the old road trace. That last video I shot was down there, and the AT's right behind those trees, right behind those pine trees. There's a lot of blowdown and stuff laying across here, but let's go up here and see what we can find. If nothing else, I'll establish my GPS track, and I can compare that to the 1927 map when I get home. Okay, well, that's the way I came from. Once you get up here, there really isn't any discernible trail that I can see, but there's a big mountain here in the way. So I think what I'm going to do is follow this around the side of the mountain here a ways at more or less constant elevation, because I'm at 3840, which is approximately the elevation of the old mine. And if they were moving cars of ore, wagons of ore out of the mine, they'd have to do it on fairly level trails, so they wouldn't have gone up that way, that's for sure. So I'm going to follow this. I'm going to follow this around the side of the mountain a ways and see if I see anything. But once you get up here, there's really no discernible trail left. .5 miles into my hike. Right now I'm at 3,800 feet. That's where I came from, and I've been basically just trying to follow this mountain around the side of the mountain here to get closer to where the mine location was. And I really didn't see any trails, so I've been hiking at constant elevation more or less, and then I found this. Look at this. This stuff's all armored up here. See these rocks? Look at that. So it could be that this is part of the road, and then down there I see more rocks piled up. So I'm gonna follow this a little ways and see where this goes. According to my GPS, I'm within about 400 feet of the location. Of course, you know, that was off a 1929 map, so it's gonna be plus or minus. Let's get down here and see if I find any more of this road. Well, I stepped off the road. Look, I'm down just slightly below it now. See how it's armored up? I have no idea how I found this. Probably by sense of smell, like the pinball wizard guy. Look at that. All right, let's see. Now I'm 360 feet from the mine, supposedly. Let's keep going this way and see what happens. .6 miles into my hike. I'm at 3810, and I think I found part of it right here. It's a great big trench. I'm within 200 feet of the 1929 location, and there's a great big huge ditch down there, and somebody, let's call them the Park Service, has magically dumped a whole ton of tree stuff down in there to block it off. That's not very nice. And okay, that's where I came from. So I'm going to mark the road, and I'm going to reposition my mine waypoint to here. So this is looking like I'm gonna get down in there and follow it a little ways, but it's like I can't follow it here because the Park Service so nicely filled it up with trash, garbage. Let's see. Huh. Yeah, and this road's armored up over here. Okay, well, let me get down in here and get some pictures. Well, I'm down in the ditch now. That's looking back towards the all the tree limbs that somebody threw in the ditch there. Park Service. This is not the real deep part though that I was reading about. Whoops, almost fell down. And then it goes on down this way. So let me follow this down here a ways. Well, I followed the trench here over that direction for 100 feet or so, and it finally just fizzles out. It's hard for me to believe they put all these roads in just, you know, for like a 200-foot long trench. I'm just below the road. Maybe you can see all those rocks there near the middle of the screen where the road's all armored up. So I'm gonna follow this. From here, it looks like it makes a turn to the left and starts heading uphill some. So I may follow this up to see if it goes to anything else, anything beyond this trench down here. Okay, well the trench is down there, but here's the road. It comes up this way, circling around to the left. The left, and look, it's starting to head up towards the summit. So let's just follow this on up. If I end up on the summit, I'll get some pictures from up there, and then I'll take a normal trail back. Well, maybe you can see that's part of the road right there. That's where I came from. Real rocky patch here and a bunch of trees in the way, but it looks to me like it continues on up this way. So let's go. Well, the road comes up to here. Look at that. Big reinforced wall there. This looks like maybe they were digging out here too, like an open pit. Look at that pile of rocks there. And to me, straight ahead looks like more rocks piled up in between all the dirt and stuff. I'm going to climb up on top of there and see if I see anything else. But as best as I can tell, this is where the road ends, right here. So this definitely, they definitely went to some trouble here to reinforce this wall so it wouldn't cave in on them. So it's possible that this hole here was deeper than what we see now, because look at that, and also right over there. So I'm guessing this must have been a pretty good sized hole right here. I better mark this one too. Okay, I think I might have just found the mother lode here. This is, because I was reading it was like 20 feet deep. Well, this is about a hole about 20 feet deep right here. Starts up there, and all this rock was excavated out down through here. So that was excavated out. Let me turn around. And this is excavated out over here. And then let me walk over here with the jiggly camera. And now I'm looking down to where the road comes around. And that rock pile there on the left is one of those big rock piles I just showed you. And right here's the top of the other one. So, I mean, it almost, see, if that road came around here and the ore wagons backed up to here, and that was reinforced so it wouldn't cave in, and the same thing on the other side, and they dug out the ore from here, and all they had to do was move it over to here and dump it into the wagons down there. And then from there, it's a road around the side that way, all the way back to the Appalachian Trail, modern day AT, really. So I'm marking this on my GPS also, and we'll look at this when we do the map talk. let's see, the elevation here is 3890. Here's another shot from a slightly different angle. Okay, over there's the mother lode, and then they could dig it out and just bring it right here and dump it into the carts. And there's the road right there. The road came around, the carts backed up to here. That was reinforced so it wouldn't cave in. That was reinforced. This was reinforced. And then over there is some reinforcing. I'm not quite sure what that's obviously associated with this, but it doesn't seem to be holding up any dirt or anything. But that wall right there definitely is holding the dirt back, which would make it possible to come around the corner with the carts, back them up, and fill them up with ore right out of that pit right there. So back through those trees is the mother lode, and look at this. I'm going to say that this is a rubble pile right here. It's big. So I guess the rocks that they blasted out that they didn't like, they built a mountain here out of rubble. And actually, I think I'm standing on some of it myself. So, big rubble pile. .1 miles into my hike, been bushwhacking up the mountain. I'm up to 3970, and I'm up to that's the trail that goes up to Stony Man Summit. I'm almost up there, so I'll just go up there and get some shots. That's where I came from down there, just pure bushwhacking, on more or less on a compass bearing to get up to here. So it's actually not too far from here down to the mine. From here down there's probably a tenth of a mile, maybe 500, 600, 700 feet, not that far. So and you know something, this this looks like it used to probably was a road that went down there. See how it's all armored up there on the side right there? If you were up this way, you could just make a turn here and head down that way. So lots of ways to get to the old mine. So I'm going to head on up here, get a few shots from the summit, and then I'm going to start heading back towards my car. .2 miles into my hike. I'm up to 4,000 feet now elevation. I'm near the summit. The summit's just straight ahead. This is as high as you can bring your horses. Last time I was up here, this was missing, but they replaced it, so you can ride your horses up to here and hitch them up here and go out to the overlook that way. So let's head over there and see what we can see. Well, I stepped off the trail here a little bit just to visit the Stony Man Benchmark. I'll have to get some close-ups of it and look up the elevation. It's a little over 4,000 feet though. Trail's way down there somewhere. I had to climb up here to get up on this rock. But there it is, Stony Man Benchmark. .8 miles into my hike, I'm down to 38:30, and this is the intersection with the Appalachian Trail. That's the way I came from. Stony Man Summit's up that way, and I'm going to take a left here. There's a white blaze for the AT, and hike north back to my car. It's about a mile back to my car. Here's one of the Park Service monuments that's in much better shape. It's still got the medallion in the top of it there. .8 miles into my hike, I'm down to 3,450 feet, and I took a side trail just to show you this viewpoint. This is along the Passamaquoddy Trail. I'll explain the route that it takes when I do the map talk. But it starts over there where the AT is now, and it wraps around the mountain here at around 3,400 feet. And it goes all the way back to the Skyland, near the Skyland Resort. Okay, there was a smelting furnace over there. And so I believe that they brought the ore down along what's now the AT. And then they came around the side of the mountain on this Passamaquoddy, around just like that. And this is relatively constant elevation all the way back to the smelting furnace, which isn't there anymore. But anyway, up there's a Stony Man. And then here's a look to the west. Very similar to the other views. I'm about 600 feet lower now though. And down near Skyline Drive, and that turnoff that goes off to the left, that's the Stony Man overlook down there. So I'm going to turn back around and head back down this way, and it's just a short distance from here back to my car. This is a map of today's hike. It's two quadrangle maps taped together. The left side is Big Meadows, 1994, and the right side is Old Rag Mountain, 1994. And the purpose of this hike was to go look for any evidence of the old copper mine up near the summit of Stony Man. Let me zoom in a little closer here. I parked right here. This red line is Skyline Drive, and there's a pull-off here at mile marker 39, and there's a parking area there for Little Stony Man. You park there, and you climb up the little access trail just a short distance, and you'll find yourself on the Appalachian Trail. Hike south on the Appalachian Trail. The mountain starts getting steep here, so you'll end up going through a series of switchbacks like this. On a previous hike, I noticed when I got up to here, I noticed what looked to me like the trace of an old road heading north like this. So I had this point in mind when I was coming up here. When I got up to this elevation right here, around 3,800 feet or so, I rediscovered this trace of this old road. And there's an older map from 1929 that actually shows this as a dotted line coming over here to the copper mine. So I got on this trace of an old road. Well, I followed it for a couple of hundred yards, and then it just fades out into nothing. So then what I did was I just kept following counterclockwise around the mountain, and I tried to stay at a fairly constant elevation, because I figure if they got cars full of ore from the mine, you know, they're gonna, if they put a road in back here, they're going to try and make it as level as they can. So I just tried to stay at a constant elevation. Finally, when I got over here in this vicinity, the first thing I found was this dugout trench. So I investigated that, got pictures of that, but then the road continued on to the north and up the hill some, so I followed it around kind of in an upside down J to here, and then I found, I call it the mother lode. It's this huge cut through this piece of the mountain, and I'm sure that's where the most of the mining activity was done. Got some pictures of that. Then there's a series of trails that comes up here to the Stony Man Summit. So I had coordinates for that. So then I just did a pure bushwhack up this way, up the side of the mountain until I came across one of the trails. Followed it up to the summit, which is here. Then I came back down on the normal trails down to here. This is the Appalachian Trail today. It's a modern day Appalachian Trail. Turned left and basically looped back to my car. Now, one thing I forgot to highlight on here, when I get down to right here, there's another trail that heads off this way called Passamaquoddy, and I'm pretty sure that that is how they got the ore from the mine down to the furnace. The smelting furnace was over here at this spot called Furnace Spring. This is a lot higher up on the mountain here at the mine, so I think what they did was they put the ore in the cars, and then they moved them down this road here, and then down this road down to this point, and then they used this trail that they call Passamaquoddy, which is more or less a constant elevation all the way over here to the smelting furnace, which was located right here in this vicinity where it says Furnace Spring. So, you know, I've read bits and pieces about this copper mine, and I thought, well, maybe I can figure out where it is. Now, let me show you the old map. This is Stony Man 1929. Now, the good thing about this map is you see that symbol right there? That's the symbol for a mine, and it's right there on that map. Now these maps have latitude and longitude on them. It doesn't show up because it's an invisible overlay, but you can get the coordinates of this point. And when I went and looked for them, I found this mine within really just 200 or 300 feet of the coordinates here from 1929. Now here's where I parked, and this is modern day Appalachian Trail, but this is the road going up, and when you get right to here, I colored it in so it was easier to see, but there's they showed a dotted line going here at constant elevation over to the mine, like that. You know, and it says old copper mine. And then down here it says Furnace Spring right there. So, and this copper mine dates back into the 1800s, before the Civil War. Oh, the other thing I'll point out is right here it says BM 4011. On my way back down the mountain, I stopped by and visited the Stony Man Benchmark. It's dated 1933, and the elevation is 4,011 feet. And that was the hike for today.